Well, y'all, after a fun weekend here in Wisconsin, it is finally time to return to the airport and fly back to Orlando.
Acting like you've been counting down.
It's airport time. I spent the night over here at my grandma's, and now she's taking me to the airport to head back home to the Sunshine State. Well, y'all, I just got dropped off at the airport. Today, I am flying Frontier Airlines back to Orlando. So, you know, little budget airline. That's why we got the backpack filled to the brim. You know, when you're flying budget, you kind of have to pack as much as you can into one bag if you want to keep the price, you know, cheaper and everything. About an hour early, so got some time to kill. Might go in the store, check out what they have for like Wisconsin merch and everything. TSA line is not looking too long, so not too worried about getting through TSA anytime soon. So let's go to the marketplace and see what they have. Of course, it being Wisconsin, you see it in the window right there. You got all your Green Bay Packer merch, which, you know, that's my home team right there. Yeah, if you ever want merch for like Green Bay Packers or Brewers, come to the airport because they got hats, some footballs. I like that one right there. And of course, it wouldn't be Wisconsin without having some cheese. Of course, looks like they got some cow cheese. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I can bring that through TSA, but they have cheese here if you want it. Of course, some Wisconsin cheese curds. Y'all, they have them. They have the iconic Wisconsin cheese hat. Put it on like a regular hat. It's a big block of cheese. If this doesn't scream Wisconsin, I don't know what does. Okay, that's funny. Out drinking every other state since 1848. Drink Wisconsin, bleed. Over here on this wall, they have a bunch of different plane sets. They got United, Delta, Southwest American. But the thing that's really funny is they have an Allegiant Airlines set right here. Allegiant doesn't fly to Milwaukee, at least not yet. But maybe that's a sign that they will come soon. And that'd be really good because they fly from Orlando to a lot of places. This right here is really cute. This is like all the Wisconsin state parks. I've been to a few of these. There's no shortage of merch for Wisconsin sports teams. And over here we have the Badgers. That's for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Of course, we got some Brewers shirts. Whole wall of different Brewers memorabilia. Some more Wisconsin Badgers merch over here. I do have to say, I do like these socks right here. I'm a huge fan of socks, and this material is really nice, and might get them. It's really fun always coming back to Wisconsin, seeing like all the merch and being like, oh, you know, when I lived here, I wouldn't have bought any of this, but now that I live in Orlando, it's kind of special to see some Wisconsin merch and be like, you know, I'm a proud Wisconsinite. This is where I, you know, grew up and everything, and getting to see all the merch and all that. Just, you know, now I actually want to buy it because it's like a souvenir. There's our plane right now flying up. It's just south of Chicago, so slowly but surely making its way to Milwaukee, but it's not here quite yet. I think we're gonna get in, get through, get some coffee, and then get to our flight. That was honestly the quickest TSA experience I've ever had. I think I was in and out within like 2 minutes. Perks of flying from your hometown airport in Wisconsin. It's not as busy as Orlando, so that's really nice when it comes to traveling. Everyone was so nice, you know. In Orlando, I feel like most of the TSA agents are cranky and, you know, up your butt about everything. But here, everyone's got a smile, super friendly. Kind of makes me miss living here. Of course, it won't be a trip to the airport with a stop at Starbucks, so we're gonna go in and get ourselves a coffee before the flight. Made it to my gate, got my coffee. We went with a sweet cream cold brew this morning. That's really good. And of course, I got small because, you know, gonna get on a plane soon, so we don't really need a huge coffee. But there'll be some food and drinks on the flight, so we'll probably get something on there once we get on. So I'm tracking the flight, and it literally just flew right across the airport up in the sky. I think they're doing their turnaround over Lake Michigan, and once they do that, they'll be landing here at Milwaukee International Airport. Flight should be here in 10-ish minutes or so, and then they'll disembark everyone off the flight, and then we'll get on. I actually upgraded my seat today to, I think, row 10, and as of right now, according to the app, there's no one in my row, no one in the row in front of me, and no one in the row behind me, so. I always say the easiest way to know that you're flying to Orlando from any other location is when you start seeing families with like the Mickey ears on, you know you're going to Orlando. It's where there's always at least one family on an Orlando flight that'll be all decked out for Disney. It looks as if our flight just landed because there's our plane right now taxiing down the runway. Gotta touch the plane for good luck. I believe the flight is already all boarded up. I'm here in 10A, whole row to myself, which is great. Got a window seat. Flight is only about 2 hours. Not a bad day. As you can see, the row across from me is completely empty. I have no one sitting next to me, and the rows in front also completely empty.
The door has been closed. All passengers need to be seated with their seatbelts fastened, and all carry-on items, including laptops, should be stowed at this time. Please silence cell phones and other portable devices. welcome to Orlando. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we are parked at the gate and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Seated until the majority of the other passengers exit the aircraft, as this will allow us to better assist you. Those who are visiting, we wish you a pleasant stay. On behalf of your crew and everyone on Team Frontier, thank you for traveling with us today.
We just landed and we are here in Orlando finally. It's a pretty nice flight, about 2 hours or so, and got some great views and some not so great views with the clouds, but we're back home. Now it's time to drive home, and it's almost rush hour, so that's not gonna be a fun drive home, but we made it back to Orlando. That's all that matters. What's crazy since we last left, that's the Spirit wing down there. And if you guys know what happened, they just went out of business, so that's not so great. But we're gonna head on to the tram, take that over to baggage claim. Over here is the Spirit wing. There's absolutely no one over here since they went out of business. So crazy to see that. They have on like the billboard. Yeah, that's crazy. No more. I just missed the bus back over to parking. They're taking off now, so guess I'll have to wait for the next one. It is a really nice day out in Orlando. I walked out of the doors of the airport and was blasted by the humidity, so we're back in Florida, that's for sure. But now it's about getting onto a shuttle, going back to the parking lot, and then by that time I think I'm going to be hitting the roads right during rush hour, so I'm not really looking forward to that. I am so glad that I figured out that there was an economy lot at MCO. I mean, I kind of knew that already. So fun fact, for the longest time I could never find the economy lot here at MCO. So I was always parking at the main parking garage that's like attached right next to the terminal. I was paying about $24 a day for parking. So usually my ticket would come out to like $100. One time I was in Colorado and it came out to like $250. So ever since then, I've been very much trying to cut back. So I found the economy lot one day finally, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm saving myself so much money. I made it back to my car. It's hot in here right now, but it's really eerie seeing Spirit Airlines parked all around the airport right now, and they're no longer a thing. When I flew out on Thursday, they were still operating because I remember them calling it out in the terminal, and then I saw some planes like landing and everything. But just to see that like an airline that was so prominent not operating, absolutely crazy. But you know, they're still Frontier, and I've been flying them a lot this year because they have really cheap rates and you can get places pretty fast, honestly. And I've never really had a bad experience with Frontier. Until I have a bad experience, I'm pretty sure I'll use them for like, you know, last minute travel plans and everything, because you can usually find tickets pretty cheap. My go-to usually is like United or Delta, but you know, if I want to go somewhere last minute, Frontier, they got my back. Now it is time to head back home and hopefully beat the evening traffic, but I doubt that's gonna happen. So after an amazing travel day today, I finally made it home after about an hour drive in traffic here in Orlando. Gotta say, I thought the drive would be a lot longer since it was rush hour, but I honestly made good timing on it. Vacation is officially over and tomorrow work officially starts. Milwaukee Airport is so easy to navigate. When I went in and out of security within 2 minutes, that right there is what I love about Milwaukee Airport, is like, it's always so chill, everyone's so friendly, and there's never really any headaches with it. And of course, on Frontier today, we had an amazing flight. Honestly, went by pretty quick. It wasn't too bad. There wasn't any turbulence at all throughout the entire flight. We had some pretty great views too. I got to see Chicago, Louisville, Atlanta, I'm pretty sure. All in all, a great travel day here today. But that being said, I have a lot to get done before I go back to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna end the video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you love this travel content, and I will see you guys either at the next theme park or the next flight. Until next time.